Our next guest this evening is one of the great rock and roll artists of all time. Tickets for the North American tour of his masterpiece album, The Wall, go on sale May 10th. Please welcome one of the founders of Pink Floyd, Mr. Roger Waters, everybody. Thank you so much for being here.
You're very, very welcome.
I'm a huge fan. So you're doing The Wall. You're bringing it in its entirety.
In its entirety, yes.
And now when does the actual start? What date do you remember? I know October 5th. It says you're at the Garden.
We are at the Garden on October the 5th.
I will be there October 5th. Yes.
We start at the Air Canada Centre in Toronto on the 15th of September.
Okay, very good. Very exciting. Now, what can people expect? They expect the whole Wall album. Do you have the pig?
We have the pig.
The flying pig. Anyone who's never seen.
We have the teacher. We have all that stuff. But we have a bunch of new projections that we've been working on for the last few months.
Really?
Yeah. And
that should be exciting.
The piece has changed a bit since 30 years ago. I've broadened it, made it a bit more political, and hopefully it will have a more universal message. You know, back then it was only about this one rather kind of miserable, angry, young, middle-aged man.
Yeah, completely, yes.
And now I've tried to make it much more about the walls that divide people in a more general way.
Now, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think Pink Floyd, when you first started, you were an art band. I might be way off on this, but you were all in art school together, and your buddy was doing an art installation, and they needed music. And they hired you guys to just play sounds to go with his art project. Am I wrong?
There was a tutor at the School of Architecture that we were all at called Mike Leonard, who was mucking around doing experiments with lights.
Yeah, it was like a weird box with just like things would light up.
It was a strange time because a lot of people were experimenting with visuals on the West Coast, Joe's Lights and people like that.
Yeah.
And we sort of stole a lot of that and got lucky.
Yeah, but I mean, it was great, and it was you and Syd Barrett. I'm a huge fan of Syd Barrett, who that you just kind of got together, and it's just got interesting that you were called the Pink Floyd at first, right? And it was named after two. I'm telling you, right? Am I wrong? I don't know if I'm too geeking out. Let me know.
No, first of all, we were called the Megadeths, and then after that, we were called the Sigmas. Yes. Goes back further than the Pink Floyd sound.
You were the Megadeths?
We were, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that. I never knew that.
No, I know. Not many people do, thank goodness. I don't know why I told you.
No, I get that out of people. This is fantastic. You might start crying in 5 minutes. That's the way it works.
I probably will. I've never been on television before.
I know. This is. Yeah, I'm excited that you're here doing this.
If only I could do an accent.
Sounds pretty good. The crown sounds pretty realistic. Yeah, she can help you out.
Excuse me, that's very kind.
Now, can I just quickly, one more thing about Syd, if you don't mind talking about Syd Barrett, but the rumor goes is that he just took too many drugs, and that he just kind of lost it, and then at one point he just didn't want to play or couldn't function, really, and then he kind of eventually just left the band, and Dave Gilmour came in, and...
You know, there is schizophrenia is used to describe a loose kind of amalgamation of symptoms, of which many Syd had. He heard voices and he had trouble keeping a grip on the reality of his situation. And on top of that, he did take too many hallucinogenics. I think if you were in the position of being an incipient schizophrenic like he was, any hallucinogenics are a very bad thing. So. Yeah, it was very sad, and he sort of drifted away from the reality of the rest of our lives.
And is the story true that you were recording, I think it was Shine On You Crazy Diamond, and a bald man walked in with a toothbrush in his mouth, and no eyebrows? Am I making this up?
It's not a funny story. I'm not sure, but he did not have a toothbrush in his mouth.
Okay, good.
As far as I recall.
I tried to make it funny.
He had a big bag of candies which he was eating, and the story is true. If you've heard the story that I had no idea who this person was, and this was my closest childhood friend. He'd put on about 100 pounds in weight. It was completely, I just didn't recognize him. I think David eventually said to me, you don't get it, do you? And I went, get what? And I looked over and oh my goodness, and I suddenly realized who it was. And we were recording the song that I wrote for Sid at the time in the studio, so it was a strange moment.
That's so interesting. Now, as Pink Floyd went on and, gosh, 23 times platinum, The Wall, one of the 5 best-selling albums of all time. I mean, congratulations. That's like, come on. I mean, that's great. I mean, that has spawned, inspired everyone and spawned other artists, but have you ever written a song that you said, oh, this is just too out there? This is just too weird. I'm freaking myself out.
No.
Never.
No, but I shall continue to try.
Yeah. Well, that is fantastic. Absolutely. Now, I just should tell everyone, you're also on Facebook now. Finally, you caved, and you're on Facebook.
I did. I'm part of the social networking community.
Yeah.
I believe it's called.
I got to write some corny wall jokes for you for Facebook, because that, when you update, all in all, you're just updating your wall. You can do that one? You won't do that one? No. I love that you're honest and go, no, I will not do that joke.
Who writes your material?
Yeah, because if it's me, I'm in trouble. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I can't wait to see you, and I'll be at every show screaming. I'll be waving at you, and you'll be ignoring me. But anyways, thank you so much for coming on. I'm honored. Make sure you see Roger Waters' live performance of his rock masterpiece, The Wall. It will be a life changer. When we come back, a song from the new Pornographers.